Oh, hey. So maybe you were here a little bit earlier for my first version of this session and the sound sucked. So I'm going to redo this again. And my buddy Jackson decided to come along for the ride too. So I'm going to put him over here. Jax, sit. Lay down. Good boy. And I'm going to give him a stick. And we'll see how that goes. Sit. All the way. Lay down. Enjoy your stick. There you go. Good boy. All right, we'll see how that goes. So the theme of the day is using the stick or a different kind of tool to gain mobility in tissue. So last week we did the percussion gun, and today we're going to just start out from a nice relaxed seated position, unloaded. So we're going down on the ground, and this is where this will get interesting. Hopefully he'll just stay right there. And we're just going to use a stick. Now earlier, I also discussed the fact that not everybody has a stick. But look around the house and you'll have something. You could use a hammer the same way I'm going to use the stick. I actually already got feedback. A couple of people used rolling pins. Rolling pin totally works. If you don't have this, just use what you have around the house. Now, when I sit in this position, it's kind of a self-selected, relaxed position. If you are uncomfortable in this position, find a comfortable position that you are seated in. I'm not asking for rigidity and sit tall. I kind of want you to just be chilling. It's usually first thing in the morning when we do this. The tissue and the muscles are going to move and just kind of be loose and relaxed on the bone, all encapsulated with connective tissue and fascia, right? So we're not trying to remodel anything. We're just trying to add mobility. We're trying to add blood flow and a little bit of fluid in there. So we're going to take that stick on the left leg, lower leg, and all we're doing is moving tissue around and kind of taking note. If there's anything the body wants to say to us, it will say it now. So as I go medial side of the calf, pretty relaxed. Now that could be good and that could be bad, right? So that could be relaxed because it's not really working, and it could be relaxed because it's strong and able to meet all the demands of what I'm asking my body to do. And then when I go over here to the lateral aspect, I actually get that peroneals, or now they call them the fibulaires, those muscles, they're starting to talk to me a little bit. So I'm just going to spend a little bit more time there, ask for a little bit more blood flow. And more than anything, I just want to see that my lower leg, my muscles in the lower leg are just relaxed. And I'm not trying to, ask them to come to attention or anything like that. I'm just moving them around. Let's go over to the right side. And we're just doing the same thing. Start on that medial part, medial being the inside. Work all the way to the top. And just nice, gushy, relaxed tissue. Like, if it's hydrated, it tends to be jiggly. If it's not hydrated, it tends to be a little bit under duress, right? We talk a lot about hydrating tissue. So I want to work through the lower leg. Nice and easy. We could use that same tool that you have for the bottom of your foot. Oh, we've got a little bit of interest. Jackson, come here. Over here. Lay down. He's had a lot of running. He should be pretty well behaved. Attaboy. Can you lay down? Here's your stick. I could use his stick. Come here. Come here. This will be a longer session because I'm dealing with the dog. No, off. Jackson, lay down. Lay down. Good. Okay, so we can use the stick or whatever the tool is for the bottom of the foot as well. And we're not trying to solve any problems, but we are adding blood flow. And we're starting to get a little bit of upregulation, a little bit of interest in the tissue down here in the nervous system through the lower leg, or through the bottom of the foot. Now, from there, let's just go ahead and support the foot in dorsiflexion. So there's a 90-degree angle at the ankle. and I just want to mobilize the toes. And you know, I did this same session earlier, and I gotta say that after my bike ride, so I did a 2-hour ride. It was the slowest ride ever, but that's okay. Just need to be patient. These toes worked much better before I did that ride. So I need to probably just kind of reconnect that. That's interesting. I didn't expect that. So same thing with the other foot. We're just gently taking the stick. We're not trying to, like I said, we're not trying to solve any problems. We're just giving it a little bit of attention, the bottom of the foot. Okay, and you can see I'm in dorsiflexion here. So it's not really a relaxed foot per se, but we're just working through the bottom of the foot. And then I'm going to support the midfoot and go ahead and just work the toes. And same thing on the right side for me. After the bike ride, this side actually a little bit better than the other side. Woo. Good, just work through the toes. We want to maintain good connection to the most distal area from the brain down to the toes. So you could probably do that every day. It wouldn't be a bad thing. All right, next thing, let's go ahead and come into a nice full kneeling position. And we're just gonna use right on the top, right in the front of the capsule, we're gonna take that stick. And when you're in this full kneeling position, we're gonna call this the stacked position. So be very cognizant. If you're in the room with a partner and you're doing this together, check out each other's heads, that the back of the head is in line with the upper back. So we kind of go ear, shoulders, shoulders, hips. And if your hip flexors are really tight, you're going to be flexed at the hip. So take a big breath, soften the belly, and just get long through the belly, okay? We can help with that with the stick. We're just going to add just a little bit of rolling through the quad, and the quads are kind of on because we're in this full kneeling position. So working through the quads, especially up at the hip capsule, just taking that nice and easy through the whole muscle. Okay, good. From here, we're just going to go into a little bit of spinal extension. So we're starting from that full kneeling position. 2 hands, like we're just raising the arms up, get long through the belly, and then go ahead and just a little bit of a gentle arch in the spine, and then come all the way back down. So the shoulder blades should be dropping on the rib cage. As the hands come up, the shoulder blades drop. We take a nice big breath, a little bit of extension, and we come back. The head stays neutral, okay? So full kneeling, reaching up, reaching up, good, reaching up, mobilizing and extending the spine, and good. Okay, from there, we're gonna go ahead and just shift to the left and shift to the right. So we're trying to maintain flat hips. So we're in a little bit of extension, or we're neutral, and we're just going to shift, load up the left knee, and then shift and load up the right knee. If you need a little more pad under your knees, once you've been working with me a little bit, you kind of get used to this. So the tissue gets used to it, the joint gets used to it, and you're starting to stack through your full kneeling position. So we're just shifting an open hip. Good, and done. Okay, so now let's take it into a flexed hip, into the quadruped position. All right, so we want to be conscious that the head is in line with the upper back. Spread the fingers so that just like the toes, we want the fingers to be very active. You can play little games with the fingers. We're going to spread the fingers, keep them open and alive, and we're shifting to the left, and we're shifting to the right. Now, as we shift here, the weight goes onto the left knee and the left hand. When the hip stops, the shoulders stop. So don't keep going. We're not trying to waggle, okay? We're just shifting right and left. And you start to feel when you shift to the left, you're loading the tissue on the lateral part of the hip. And we're just getting a nice movement through that deep, deep hip joint. Side to side, to side, to side. Good. Chin stays back in the throat. Good. Now, from right there, we want to just be able to rotate through the hip joints. We're going to stay in the quadruped, and basically we're going to take the right foot and just rotate it out and then back and then out and then back. But we're doing it from the quadruped position. So flexed hip right here, and we're just taking that foot out, foot out, foot out, foot out. Two more. Good. And then same thing other side. Jackson's big butt is in the way, so you might not see my foot. Now, I will say that after my ride, these hip rotators are actually moving much better than the first session I did of the mobility this morning. And I take that because it was a relatively short ride for me, and I have not fatigued the tissue too much. So doing this after my ride, I would do mobility before, and I would definitely do it after. Doing it after just helps me reset so that I'm ready, because tomorrow for me is an interval day. It's a much, much harder day. Okay, lateral half kneeling position. You doing okay? You want to come over here? Come over here. Right here. And you can sit. Show everybody how handsome you are. Okay, good boy, good boy. You guys remember when he was just a baby? He was crazy. Okay, you can lay down there if you want, but you're going to stay, okay? Spread the fingers, lateral half kneeling. And we're just going to rock forward and back. See how much better he is? Rocking forward and back. This is down dog. Come here, Jax. Over here. Oh, sorry, buddy. Come here. Sit. Sit. Good. Lay down. Stay there. We're just rocking back and front. Nice and easy. He just wants to go out in the backyard now. He's like, I love being on the show. Thanks, Mom. There you go. Just back and forth. Gentle toggle through the hips. And good. Let's do the same thing on the other side. Right foot out to the side. Lateral half kneeling. Hands to the front. Spread the fingers. And we're just going back and front. 2, 3, 4, 5. Just being patient, get through it. 7, good boy. 8, good boy. You're a good boy. Yes. I just love having him. Okay, same thing other side. This time we're going to add a little bit of upper back into that lateral half kneeling position. Good boy. You sit. Sit. Jackson. Thank you. Can you lay down? There he goes. Good boy. Okay, so from here we've got the left leg out. Fingers spread. We're going to take the left arm under. Push your hips back. And then reach up. Push your hips back, reach under, and then reach up. We'll just get 5 each side. Good. Good. And good. All right, same thing other side. So we go lateral half kneeling, right leg out. 2 hands to the ground, and we're going to go ahead and go under, and then up. And then push your hips back right there, 2, and up, 3, and up, 4, good, and 5. Ta-da! Good. All right, let's get back to the stick. And from here, we're just going to go half kneeling position. This would be our normal knee over toe goal right here, 45 degrees out from the hip. All right? Go ahead and open that a little bit more. We're going to use the stick on the adductors. So just nice and easy. You want to take the tension out. So if you put the knee over the toe, we put tension in. So let's go ahead and take tension out and just work through the tissue. You get really specific up in that adductor magnus. You get a little bit more to the front. It's a nice tool to use in conjunction with your foam rolling because it can be a little bit more specific. Like I can get right into that pes anserine there, which is the articulation of 3 different muscles. So we can get right on that medial collateral and control the intensity. So I'm not afraid to go tissue and bone. So tissue and muscle is myofascial, and tissue and bone is osteofascial. So again, open that hip up, hit the other side, using that rolling pin to get nice hydration, movement, blood flow. Get up into that, right up in the attachments, up by the pelvis, and then down to the attachment by the knee. And we'll just go ahead and take that into a little bit of motion. Let the knee stay out. So if your adductors are really tight, that knee is going to want to come to the midline. Keep that knee out and over the toe and just turn away. And that should feel quite nice, like it's gliding, right? Gliding and sliding. Boom. 4, 5, 6. And you want to see that flow. 7, 8, 9, and 10. So when the body's gliding and it's hydrated and it's fit and it's strong and balanced, then we get that beautiful motion. 2, but it does come from understanding, and it's every single day paying attention to what your body is telling you. It will talk to you constantly. If you're ignoring it, and if you're abusing it, like you're doing things that are going to add an opportunity for dehydration, then you're going to have to pay attention to even more. So if you've decreased the alcohol intake, you've increased your electrolyte intake, you've increased the variability of your movement patterns. So if you think about running, that's one movement pattern. So if all you do is run, you're going to get really good in this movement pattern, but then you're at risk for those overused repetitive motion injuries, which makes it even more important that you learn to move in multiple planes of motion with freedom and with confidence and with strength. So anyway, it's Happy Memorial Day here in the United States. We are so blessed to live in a country of freedom, and thanks to all of those who serve, who have made that possible for us, who have come way, way before us, and will continue to do the work for the future. So Memorial Day is a time of reflection and also anticipation, but it's always a time of gratitude. So I hope you guys have a great week, and thanks for joining me for round 2 of Mobility Monday. Peace.